Hello and welcome to Dr. Hursts' podcast, where things mysteriously go bump in the halls. On tonight's episode, we have a very special yet scary story for your listening pleasure. It's called The Misty Forest, and it's written by Easy Exchange 9828. So sit back, relax, and listen. I quickly jumped over a log, checking behind me to see that thing still following me, its claws bared and eyes wide open, crawling on all fours. I looked back in front of me as I continued to run, keeping myself aware of my surroundings. As my eyes were focused on a tree, I saw a garden shed behind it. An idea immediately popped into my head, and I ran for it. The thing still chasing me. Its eyes were like the void, infinitely dark. Its smile, its awful smile, it's like looking into a cave with spikes on every side, threatening to stab through me. It looked starved, like it hadn't eaten a day in its life. I could see every bone in its body, from its ribs to its tailbone. It was a light grey colour with regular grey spots around its body. And the sky was a dark red with orange scattered about, and clouds in a pastel pink tone. What a wonderful day to see my last sunset on. I realised I had slowed down, and quickly I ran into the shed and locked the door. Only seconds later it was pounding, sounding like it had mere seconds before it broke down. Then I remembered, where's Max? Max? I called out. I made it here before you. Don't worry, he replied, as I felt a hand on my shoulder. I turned around to face him, only to see him with his clothes half ripped. It almost got me. We're safe for now though, but not for long. He spoke a melancholy tone in his voice. It was then that I felt the cold air of my neck, and I knew then and there that the monster had broken through and was now standing right behind me. I whipped my head around with my eyes tightly closed, making a fist with my hand, expecting it to hit something. Instead, there was nothing in front of me, and I quickly noted that Max was outside the door, half dead, a pool of blood surrounding him and a trail coming from the woods. He was never in front of me. He had crawled all the way there. "Sam, run!" he called out. "It's behind me," I noted. I looked behind me as dread filled my eyes. There it was, its black dead eyes and its putrid smelling mouth. Its large structure bent down in front of me, face aligned with mine. As I stared into its black eyes, I knew there was nothing I could do to escape this. "Sam!" he called out once more. "Please run!" he cried. I knew that if I dared look away from the monster, it would devour me before I could even think to blink. "Max!" I yelled. "Call anyone!" I yelled as I tossed my phone behind me, knowing I'd thrown it far enough, as I heard a faint owl from Max. I forced my body to face the monster, and suddenly all fear escaped from my body. Somehow I felt relieved. "I think I've lived long enough," I said in a whisper, although even I could hardly hear myself. Max heard me loud and clear. "Sam, don't. Please run. Get out of here," he screamed. "My eyes are ringing," I said as I felt what seemed like a needle whip through my body. I looked at the monster in front of me once more as its eyes seemed to soften and a black goo escaped from its eyes. I smiled softly as I looked down at my body, feeling the needle pull back through. I noted that it was much larger than a needle, a large hole surrounded by ripped cloth and blood. The hole in my stomach seemed to grow as I quickly realized disintegrating. My body is disintegrating? Ha! It doesn't hurt. My vision began to grow with black dots, and I looked back towards Max, tears escaping my eyes. I'm sorry, brother. I'll see you soon, I smiled. I heard him scream my name before I could no longer hear the darkness overtaking me. I awoke in a warm land, feeling like $1,000,000. I got up, no longer feeling a hole in my body, and I noted that I am, in fact, dead. I smiled once more before I felt arms around me. Hey there, Sam, a familiar voice said. Max, I asked, whipping my head around to see him. My big brother. I smiled and wrapped my arms around him tightly, his warmth gliding with mine. Hey, little brother, he said, a smirk on his face. So, the next time we meet, stay safe and stay sane, and thanks for listening.